We haven't done a cooking thing for a while. Spaghetti bolognese we're doing today. We've got onions and mushrooms partially cooked. The mince is in, that's 5% fat, so that's very, very lean beef mince. I've got my black pepper ready. We need some of that. I need some of that as well. Garlic salt. Sorry, I forgot that bit. And over here we've got the rest of the ingredients. Now some of this is store-bought, not homemade. That lot over there is homemade effectively, but I tend to get these sauces because they've got everything in that I need. I've got some tomato puree which will help thicken everything and give it that tomatoey taste, chopped tomatoes, and spices ×2 which have also got thickeners in. So this is relatively thick sauce and that helps thicken it, well that waters it down. So this helps bring it back together. And of course, while we're cooking, we have some of that. I haven't had much yet, and we'll serve it up in a minute. We've got our spaghetti over here, so that will go on in a minute in our saucepan, lightly salted. Water's boiled in the kettle. So yeah, I'll be back in a minute when things change, but at the moment the mince is cooking. As I said, the mushrooms and the onions are partially cooked. They're not cooked right through, but that all comes together as this gets mixed. And I can't mix and hold the camera at the same time. All good fun, isn't it? And this will be portions for the freezer. I'll have one tonight, obviously, as fresh. That's why the spaghetti's out. But then that'll make a number of portions to go in the freezer, which can then be brought out, 10 minutes in the microwave, 10 minutes to cook the spaghetti, and I've got a nice home-cooked meal. Well, mainly home-cooked. I'll be back. Right, this is where it all gets fun. The mince is now cooked. A little bit of, I'll call it juice, it's basically fat, but there's so little of it in 5% fat mince. We stir in the onions and mushrooms that were partially cooked. This is now all sort of a base for what's to come. You're supposed to be in there, not out on the side. Right, so that stays as it is. We now turn the heat right down. I'm still not quite used to cooking on gas. I've always wanted to cook on gas, having been stuck with electric for donkey's years. And now that I've got it, it's taken a while to get used to. So what we do now, chop tomatoes, sauce ×1, that's not enough, sauce ×2, it's filling up now, isn't it? And now what we do is we get the filter jug water, and put some in each of those jars, probably off camera, put the lid back on, because I'm not wasting what's in that jar. So that's what we do, we sort of effectively rinse the jar into the pot. So now we've got our liquid and our sauces. We better have a bit of a stir now. This is the point where it's very easy to get it all over the sides, and then we've got a big clean-up job to do, which we don't want. So this is the basis of our spaghetti bolognese. Store-bought sauces, low-fat mince, button mushrooms and fresh onions. So far, so good, but we're not done yet. Now we need the tomato puree. This will help thicken it and enhance the flavour. quite a bit of that. Quite a bit of that. And because I've opened it, that will now have to go in the fridge. I'll just give that a slop around. You can't go too mad here, because if it all comes over the sides, I'll spend the next 2 hours cleaning the cooker, which I don't want to do. I should be able to do this with no cleaning whatsoever, providing it doesn't go over the sides, of course. Right, so that's that. Now we get the important bit. Whoops! It's alright, my scissors are in the drawer and the camera's in the way. Sorry if you're feeling seasick. We have moments. Right, so these are prepared spices, herbs, all that sort of stuff, authentic flavours, call it what you like, but what it also does is thicken up the sauce. There's quite a bit of chilli in that, looking at the colour. What does it say? What does it say? I've never actually read this, I just sort of use it. I can't read that. That's not because I've had too much wine, it's because the writing is awful. But it's authentic spices, herbs and all that sort of stuff that goes with this meal. And these packs are very cheap, considering they turn what could be quite bland meals into a nice flavoursome meal. So we now mix this in slowly. This will help thicken everything. What we don't want, obviously, is little pockets of powder that haven't mixed in, because if you get some of that and you take a bite of it, it's some pretty strong stuff. As I said, there's quite a bit of chilli in this. Right, so that's our basis for the meal. All we've got to do now is simmer that for, well, as long as you like, really. You can do it for sort of 15-20 minutes. You can do it for an hour if you want. All you'll do if you simmer it for a long time is reduce the amount of liquid and thicken it. But I'm quite happy with that consistency, especially as I've just slopped some of it on the floor. Right, now what? Now we need some garlic salt, because although there's some garlic in that, there's not a lot. This garlic is, can I say the word crap? I bought this recently and it's got moisture in it. It keeps going hard, but we will add a fair bit of that in, because I like my garlic. And then what we will do is we will add an extortionate amount of pepper. Now this grinder's got fine, medium and coarse. Let's have a go at medium, see what that comes out like. No, we want coarse. We want big chunks of pepper. You have to bear in mind, this might seem a lot. Ouch! Stop splooping. That just went right up my arm. Although this might seem like a horrendous amount of pepper, it's not really, because if you think about it, this is going to do probably 8 portions. And that amount of pepper spread amongst 8 portions is not a lot. Lots of big bits of pepper. There we go. I like my pepper. I have ground pepper on almost every meal. In fact, I could probably say I have it on every meal. So there's a nice lot of pepper, some garlic, and the basic herbs and spices. And that will do. Now all we do is just mix that in gently. and we leave that to simmer for some considerable time. The time, real time now, is 20 to 5, and I like to eat between 5 o'clock and 5:15. So this can just sit there and simmer for a while, and then I will get out my containers and we will portion this up. It should make 7 or 8 portions. Why do I like cooking like this? The mince was £5. The jars were just over £1 each, so let's say 8 for the 3. Those are less than £1 each, so I would suggest that the ingredients here came to 11 or 12 pounds, and for that I'm going to get 8. In the main, what I can call home cooked meals, on the grounds that I know what went in there. Now you could buy this spaghetti bolognese as a ready meal, and you'd probably pay £3 or £4 for that one meal, and it will have a lot of chunk in it. So I like this form of cooking. And this isn't a cooking channel, but every now and again I do something like this, and people will watch it and think, that's not orchids, that's not bonsai, that's something I do every day. Yeah, well, we all got to eat, and I like home cooked food portioned up, put in the freezer, so that I put one lot of effort in and I come back with 7 or 8 effectively ready meals, but home cooked. So there we go. I'll get my spaghetti on in whatever, 20 minutes time. That takes 10 minutes to cook, no big deal. And this can just blip away, just infusing all of those flavours, some of that, some of that, some of that, and some of that, and quite a lot of that. And just merge it all together into one nice flavour, which I like a lot. See you next time. Thanks for dropping by. So here we go, spaghetti's on. That's just gently blipping away in the background, and over here we have our containers ready to portion up to go in the freezer. We've got a timer on for the spaghetti and a plate to put my flipping tea on, and we will add more pepper and some wine to go with it. It's all good stuff. It's one amount of effort for 7 or 8 meals, and the amount of effort I enjoy doing, so it's all good stuff. I might get to eat something in a minute. Right, so we're nearly ready. This is basically an Italian dish, but you don't get many Italian wines in the UK that I can afford anyway, so we go with Spanish. Bearing in mind I've been to Spain quite a few times and I enjoy their wines. So let's go. What we've got now is, oh that's heavy, a cauldron full of nice bolognese meal. All nicely blooped, flavours mingled, and we will run with that. So what we do now is we go 1, 2, 3 for the freezer. It's all good fun, isn't it? 1, 2, 3 for the freezer. These are portioned over a long period of time that actually work. Whoops, that's going to make a mess. 2, 3. That's what comes of having too much of that before you've dealt with this. We like that. We're going to have some more in a minute. 1, 2, 3. Over the years I've established that 3 heaped spoonfuls of this size spoon is about right for a meal. And what I do is I keep going 3 at a time until what's left is my meal for the day, which looks like this is it. 2, 3. Yep. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1 for today. 1 for now, as they say. So what's the time now? My timer is about to go beep 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 and make lots and lots of noise. And do you know what I'm going to do now, which is absolutely disgusting? Sorry, that's my timer for the spaghetti. Actually, off camera, I'm going to actually lick this because I can't stand wasting food. Well, that's quite strong with the garlic. Oh goody. So ready for the washing up tomorrow. I don't do washing up today. When I'm eating today, I do washing up tomorrow. When I get up and I'm in the mood. Right, so what we've got now is my spaghetti, which going on in the background is just going to get put through the sieve and drained. Now, once upon a time, when I lived at the old place and the children used to come round as children, we used to do spaghetti bolognese. My spaghetti used to be, I used to get a knob of butter and shake it and sort of coat it in butter. And we used to have pepper on the spaghetti and things like that. And I used to make a big deal of the actual spaghetti. And I've realised over the years that it's the sauce that matters, not the spaghetti. So what we do now is we chuck that in there. And then, where's my wooden thing? Where's my scrapey thing? What we do now is, this is my Saturday meal. This is quite a substantial meal. Now, a little bit more of that could have gone in those containers, but I treat my Saturday and my Sunday meal as special. So they tend to be larger than weekday meals. So we'll put that in for the wash for tomorrow. And later on today, when this is all cooled down, we will put the portioned up meals into the freezer. And what we will do now is put lots of pepper on this meal. And I mean lots. Some of you are going to be horrified at the amount of pepper I use. I love freshly ground black pepper. It goes on virtually every one of my meals. And with a meal like this, it's traditional for a start. And then we will take that in the other room, sit down at the table and have our evening meal. And then fall asleep in the chair, no doubt. Thanks for dropping by. Bit different to the Orchid channel, bit different to the Bonsai channel, but every now and again I like to do something different, and this was different. See you next time. Bye for now.